Hi everyone. We're at church today, starting off a new week. I hope that you were able to reclaim or celebrate in some way Valentine's Day this past weekend, love, abundance, friendship, and connection. And I shared a lot of different ways for you to celebrate Valentine's Day in community and with friends and with multiple partners and with yourself and with you have a partner. And I'm especially at a time like this, when we're being told every day to be afraid, to be scared, that we are loving wrong, that we are being wrong, that who we love is wrong, all of the things. It's, I think, as much a radical act for us to reclaim holidays like Valentine's Day, to reclaim any moment when we can say, we love, we are loving, and to kind of add to this point, my reading this week is from What It Takes to Heal. This is Prentice Hemphill's How Transforming Ourselves Can Change the World. This is part of my first book for my chaplaincy cohort, which you'll be hearing more and more about. But the last, really, one thing that's incredible about this book is it bridges the social justice activism and healing work. And we need both right now. We need folks that are fighting every single day. We need folks that are surviving every single day. And we need to be able to figure out what healing, the piece of healing in this for ourselves and for each other. And this book really goes through that journey, those options. And their last chapter is all about love. It's love at the center, and the idea of understanding your vision of healing, understanding your new world, and having love be core. So I wanted to bring it in to like the tail end of Love Abundance Weekend and share a little with you. So the reading, as always, is just a time for you to think, to feel held, to feel read to relax, and just let your mind think for a moment. Take a deep breath. If you haven't, rest for a moment. If you haven't, feel your body for a moment. If you haven't yet today, and just imagine. This is in Love at the Center. It's not an oversimplification to say that many of us who fight for justice, whether conscious of it or not, are fighting also for love. I have heard as much from others and felt as much in myself. Being loved has felt like being coaxed out of my body's protection and received. And everyone I've known involved in social change carries the story or the face of someone who was not loved by the world. Before the grief and under the rage is love. We want to be loved on every scale, to have ourselves be loved enough that we are reflected in the world and systems we create, to be willed into existence and to be mirrored and protected. Love can bring us closer to the work of liberation. I hope that love can bring you a little closer to the work of liberation in whatever way that means. And with that in mind, to start this week, to see what we need, we're going to pull from our crystal deck. We do have a crystal swap coming up on Friday here if you're local at Couch Date, and if you are into crystals or you have a bunch or you want to learn, come through. But for a moment, let's just see in this moment, what do we need as a crystal helper, healer? Ooh, look at this color. All right, we've got garnet. What it is. Garnets are deep pomegranate to fiery red stones that have lit wrists for centuries. Garnets come in many forms. Let's see. Who needs it? Writers who aren't writing, painters who aren't painting, sexual beings who aren't sexing. Valentine's Day, reclaiming creativity, reclaiming sensuality, reclaiming sexuality. You need it. If you weren't able to tap in, maybe a little garnet. Where to put it? Any place you want to, make it something, be it art, love, altar, bills, whatever. When to use it? When you feel like the real you is getting lost in the sometimes shallow, often materialistic priorities of a likes-driven culture. So if part of the overwhelm right now is feeling a little bit of that, go ahead and maybe get you some garnet and or just meditate on what this energy could bring for you this week. So a little offering. I'm also going to talk about the astrology of this week. This is the last day of Aquarius season. Tomorrow starts Pisces season. We'll be moving on into the fields. So we've been in Aquarius. I've talked a lot about Aquarius recently, especially Pluto moving into Aquarius. So this is a head-led, big systems, big change kind of sign. And now we're moving into a season of water, a season of deep feels. Pisces is, thus two fish swimming in opposite directions, or swimming, but like swimming a little bit. There's a little bit of like a kind of frantic energy to Pisces, but it also in their swimming can really go to depths. Pisces can dream like no other. They can imagine and creatively just make worlds in this world and under the constraints that we're all fighting. They can create worlds on top of that we all really need right now. The world we're in right now, not doing the best. It is really potent for us to be moving into a season where we can dream, where our dreams can go deeper and we can swim in, even if it's delusion. Pisces loves a delusion, but even if it's delusion, like that's sometimes the edge of what's next. So Pisces season happening. I encourage you this week, it starts tomorrow, to really play this week with your heart, play with feelings, play with surrendering, imagine for yourself cosmic currents and just being like swept into depths that maybe you don't often swim in or isn't your natural. Like that's what's calling us, because especially at the beginning of Pisces season, it's a great time to really feel, because at the end of it, we are going to have eclipse season in March next month. We've got soul level shifts happening, not just moon and full moon and new moons. We've got eclipses happening, solar and lunar eclipses. And so there's this opportunity as Pisces season begins, especially this week, to kind of prepare to kind of swim and play and shed in a way, swim to some things that maybe is not as familiar, and let yourself go. And also just say, like, I know this is a tough time. There is so much going on, and a lot of it isn't great, especially for the queer and trans community, and so many communities that are being attacked right now. And so Pisces season is a season of feels. If you haven't given yourself or carved out some time to feel, this is going to come for you. And so maybe get ahead of it and let yourself be there and let yourself go. What I love about, I have many Pisces friends. March is stacked with birthdays I love to celebrate. And this season is really a great time for all of us to love on each other, to flow with each other, to let that be. So I encourage you. And my offering is to kind of pay attention to that. Notice perhaps that shift this week from our head to our heart. And yeah, just allow that to be. Maybe before we pull our card and close, let's just take a moment Thank yourself for carving out a little time to come to Queer Church this week. Thank yourself for slowing what may have been a death scroll, perhaps, to just be with me and be with us in this moment. And just pause. Just feel maybe the floor beneath you. If you're sitting in a chair, maybe the support of that chair. Let's maybe do a body scan in this moment, starting with our heads, the crown, which brings us out. We'll send some fireworks, send some sparks out to our ancestors, queer, transcestors, those in our lineage that are also queer and trans, whether we knew it or not. Folks here rooting for us to shake things up. People that have lived through the tough times and made it, that have wisdom for us. Scanning down, down, down. Just take a couple of breaths to connect to your body, to feel held and supported. You are not alone. You are not alone. You are not hopeless. We are here. We've got garnet. We've got stones of joy and pleasure. And we've got a final little message to get. So, what do we need to hear in this moment? What is going to help us make sense of this moment, of this time, and bring us into the rest of this week, moments after? I'm using, this is the Melanated Tarot. It has Smith imagery. It's like Smith-Waite deck, but melanated folks. And look at this. We've got our 7 of coins, and this card, we're in body, we're in grounding, we're in money, we're in material things. Yes, please. If you're feeling, especially as we move into this water season from air, it's like, where is the ground? Where is our grounding? Here it is. It's a reminder to check in and find the ways that you ground, find what is grounding you, tap back in and connect to those places, people, practices. And the 7 really shows I've planted seeds and then they've grown. I've been working. This isn't the ace. This is the 7. I've been on the journey, and the things that I've done have led me to this moment. But there's still, you can kind of see the face of this person. They're kind of like, is this it? Even though it's grown, even though it started as a seed, it started as an idea that was manifested in a seed that was planted and has grown. But we can kind of be like, and that happens so often. Our blessings so often, by the time they come to us, we're like, is it enough? And that is partially because we've created a structure of a society that is immediate always, that wants things right now, that is impatient and that is demanding, and where our needs are ever present and ever growing. And we want so much and so widespread that when we call out for something, by the time sometimes it comes to us, we're like, the hell is this? Who cares? And is it enough? And in a world, especially again right now, where it's like it feels like we need more and more and more and more, the things that we have, even if we've grown them, even if they're doing well, even if they're on their way, can feel like not enough. And that's okay. And also, when we pull this, it's a reminder to take some stock of what you've grown in your life, especially around grounding. and to maybe reframe or reappreciate or send some gratitude to the comforts that you have, the things and people that you can touch and hold, the warm blankets that you have to cuddle with, the pet friends, the lovers, the hope in whatever way it is that is in your community web or your resourcing web that you've built because you've put yourself out there. And now here it is. And how do you lean on that grounding, trust your intuition, and really just love on that and appreciate that this week? I hope that for you. I hope that for me. And I will see y'all next week when we can talk more about Pisces season and the new moon in Pisces.